And that makes more sense. Today is Wednesday, June 18th. My name is Ryan Bellamore, and we are chatting with Newport School Superintendent Colleen Jermain today. She joins us each and every month, and we appreciate her for doing so. But first, Frank Prosnich joins me. Frank, how are you?
Doing fine, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing okay. And I pulled up a fun photo for the superintendent, which we're not going to be able to see, but Justin Walker from our team was on hand. He covered all of the graduations, but I know he had an exceptional great time at Rogers last week. We can't get it. We can't get over there. There's kind of it.
Yeah, that's great.
But yes, you can see a full photo gallery up on whatsupnewp.com of all of the graduations in Newport County. He worked his tails off the last 2 weeks. Somehow got the two on the same day. I'm not sure how he pulled off some of the things he did, but graduation has passed.
It has, and it's an exciting time. And today was the moving up ceremony for our grade 8 students at Thompson Middle School. So the Thompson Warriors are on their way over to be Rogers High School Vikings. And they actually had a sneak peek on Monday to see the new high school. So they came through, and we took a picture of them in the gym on the bleachers, because it'll be the first class to graduate from the new Rogers High School for the first full year, 4 years.
I have one question regarding moving up before I move on myself up and let Frank take over. I've seen some comments just about, since COVID, have we gotten rid of, it was another school district, but have we gotten rid of moving up ceremonies from elementary school to middle school and middle school to high school? Has that kind of gone away a little bit, or is that still alive and well in Newport?
It's alive and well in Newport. We had a grade 4 celebration for those students on their way to Thompson. And as I said, today we just had Rogers moving up. So they're in session, and everyone, it's a great day. It really is a lot of fun for all our families, and the students are just so excited.
All right. So I won't say who it was, Portsmouth. All right. Frank, take it away.
Yeah, so I want to stay on that subject a little bit and ask about the challenges for these kids as they move up to another school. It's not an easy time.
No, it's not. We have transition meetings. We usually have a special day just for them so they can become adjusted to the school. They have a visiting time where they can walk the school by themselves as a class, and then they can learn about, just for the new Rogers students coming in, it's going to be a whole new experience for them and for the adults as well. So we'll be taking it very slowly, remembering that it's new for everyone and just taking our time. For the students moving up to Thompson, we do have a special time, and thank you to Tracy Shea and her team with Newport Community School. They help us with that transitioning, and we actually have a day dedicated to the grade 5 students and and our new students. We have an ice cream sundae social that evening where the parents and the students come. And I believe our grade 5 students rising grade 5, those leaving Pell, have already visited Thompson. So we do make it a point to start to get the children acclimated, as well as their parents and families, so that everyone's aware of their new surroundings. So it's a very, as I said this morning, for our Thompson Warriors, it's kind of a sad time, but they've each, having gone through Thompson Middle School, but their fabric is woven into that community, and each and every unique child has had an experience, and we have had the joy of having them in our Thompson school. And now I want them to take all of that energy, take all of that great learning, apply themselves. We're all here to support them and be as powerful as they can be. So we're looking forward to that as they start their new journey over at Rogers High School. And our Pell champions will be over at Thompson.
So those kids who are at Rogers now, have they had an opportunity, I presume they have, to go through the school and whatever its stages are? Will they have an opportunity to go through the finished product before they actually enter classes in the fall?
They have, during the school year, during the construction phase, we have made it a point and a priority to make sure students are always involved in our weekly tours. They will have the opportunity on August 22nd to tour the building when we do the ribbon cutting. At this point in time, I'm not aware of any specific dates for classes to come visit prior to the opening after Labor Day. But we still have some dates to work out. For instance, right now we're in the middle of packing. All of us have to be packed up, and we must leave this building, the old Rogers High School, Friday afternoon. So all of us are packing up for that. And then the movers will be here Saturday morning. I believe I'm getting the keys either tomorrow morning or Friday. And then the movers will come in on Saturday, then Saturday through the following Friday, hopefully, we'll be finished with moving the boxes over into the new building. And then, of course, we have to think about when will our teachers have the opportunity to come in, unpack, etc. My boxes will be going over to the old NACTAC building. It's full circle. When I started in the Newport Public Schools, that's where my office was. And after 5 moves, I'm back. I'm back at NACTAC. Miss Nash and I are back to where we started. So it's a full circle. So we're excited.
Yes, Ryan. It's
I have a
nice.
question.
No, this is real. No, this is really like in a classroom. You raised your hand.
Yes. I have a question I've been asked several times. Will there be an opportunity for the public to tour the new high school before it is open for school? Is it the open?
Yes.
Okay.
It's going to be the ribbon cutting. That will be the first time, August 22nd. We have had, and people are aware, we have had some smaller groups come through. Either special interest groups have come through. They want to see some particular areas. We have had some alumni that have traveled from afar, and we have made an arrangement for them to come through. So we are here and there. When we do get special requests, we will try to honor those. But for the most part, it's going to be August 22nd.
And the hours one more time?
Pardon?
The hours one more time?
10 a.m. It'll be 10 a.m. on August 22nd. And as I just shared with Frank, because we're going to also need to set aside some dates and times for our teachers to come in and unpack before that August 22nd date. So the place will look spiffy for the grand opening. We're still in the works of trying to figure out those dates and what's convenient for our staff.
What still needs to be done at Rogers to finish up?
The new Rogers, they're going through right now. They're going through the punch list. So they're going through some odds and ends here and there that our OPM downs may say, maybe there's a chip in that paint over there, or this I don't know, this panel needs some adjustment, or we might look at some lighting and say, we need the lighting adjusted. Right now, we still have to go through our fire alarm, our alarm system that is working, but the fire department needs to go through its final stages, and they've been in and out. They'll be here, I think, again on Friday and then back on Monday. Then I also have, what else is going on? We have the building inspector, our new building inspector, Mr. Ward, Brad Ward. He'll be coming in on Monday to look at the roof, to look at all the final touches. The roofing company that has to guarantee the warranty for the roof has already come by. They've done the first stage of that. They've approved it. So now the next and final stage will be for the building inspector to go through, check off all the things that are necessary for the temporary CO. And then we'll take it from there. Then we'll work on whatever other things we need to have done in order to get the full occupancy certificate. So
demolition or anything is that going on during the summer?
Yeah, no, there isn't. The priority during the summer is going to be the 109 Old Fort Road entryway, the student parking lot, for those that aren't too familiar with the campus. So the student parking lot, because we'll be putting in a new water line coming up the hill, going over to the NACTAC building. The city of Newport has asked us to realign the present water line that went across our former backfield behind the NACTAC building, and we'll be running that line up there. So we will, because we're keeping the NACTAC building, we'll be doing some excavation coming from the new Rogers High School across that back lot area by the loading dock on the NACTAC building. We'll be going around that to connect the water and wastewater, water, and all the utilities. So we'll be finishing up on that. That's going to be the top priority during the summer. We're hoping for good weather so that everything stays on schedule for our after Labor Day opening for school.
And any demolition, when does that happen?
Demolition of the building I'm in, the old Rogers High School. The first thing that will happen will be the remediation. They do remediation inspections. They do all those things before they start knocking down anything. So I would say most likely that's going to be not until the fall, any of that happening.
Any updates on staffing?
Staffing. We did, unfortunately, we do have a budget challenge in front of us here in Newport. Right now, we have balanced the budget while reducing our out-of-district special ed line, just so we have a balanced budget, but we're going to have to monitor that line very carefully. We have about a $900,000 gap at this point in time, and this is after we had to eliminate and reduce some positions. So we have had 10 layoffs. And the good news is, of those 10 layoffs, we've already been able to call 2 people back, and we're hoping that we may be able to pull back more people. This is because either someone has moved out of the district or they may have retired. So we do have some job openings. It's not because we added another position. I think that there was some confusion at the city council meeting last time I was there because they cut our budget in half. They reduced it by $500,000. We're requesting a full 4% and $500,000. And I believe, if I heard correctly, that the thought was, well, maybe if we reduce our budget, the school department budget, they'll think of ways of bringing back some positions that some people would really like to see in our school district. I had to explain to the council that that cut will require me to reduce staff more because the positions will not be able to come back because I have a $900,000 gap. The good news is the positions that I eliminated, everyone has a job. It's just due to union, and I know, Frank, you're a former union person, due to seniority and whatnot, those people all have a job. So that's a good thing. And that's always the main point when we get into these kind of decisions. They're never easy. And you always want to make sure someone has, a livelihood, a career. And we try to bring back as many people as possible. So if I have to, again, go to emergency certifications, and RIDE will allow me, I'll try to support our staff in that way, and emergency certified people, so they'll have a job. So this is the time of year we all have to have patience, more patience than usual. And usually by mid-August, late August, we have a better idea of the landscape and the staffing that we need. As I shared, we had some retirements that we didn't fill. We did cut a couple of positions. We distributed those people to other jobs in the classroom. And now we're just waiting to see what the state, hopefully, budget comes through for us because our last read on that was we were $200K less than we were. And that would raise our gap to about 1.1 or 1.2. So those are the things we just have to watch very carefully.
When you mentioned cutting the budget, you meant cutting your proposal. They didn't cut your budget from last year.
We asked for a 4% increase.
Right.
They voted to reduce the allocate in their budget. They had 4% for us. At the council meeting, they voted to reduce it to 2% increase and $500,000.
Right. So what I meant is not from last year's budget, because you can only level fund. So
Correct.
you're getting a 2% increase over last year.
Correct. Over last year's. Correct. That is correct.
Yeah. And yet that $200,000 that you may not get from the state. What about federally? Are there funds that?
Yeah, they're okay right now. And I want to be clear. At the moment, they're okay. I do believe there is some nervousness amongst many about what the ultimate decision will be on those allocations to the states and how they'll be handled. I don't foresee getting any big updates on that until, again, probably August or September. Right now, the Department of Education is asking us to make sure we get preliminary budgets, everything we believe we'll need from our title funds, into them by July 1st. And I know all our department chairs and directors are right on top of that, and they'll have those submissions well in advance.
What are you projecting for student enrollment? A drop in enrollment next year, or the same, or an increase?
Interesting. If you had asked me yesterday, I would have said a drop. I looked at the kindergarten enrollments, and the pacing of how many we have is a little bit ahead of where we were last year. So I would say we will be about the same or less. I do not foresee us being any higher.
So if you're going to have roughly the same enrollment as last year, and it looks like maybe 8 less teaching positions, if I'm correct, how do you deal with that?
Well, the beauty of it is the previous year, the year we are just ending, I literally at the elementary level could have eliminated one grade level at Pell. So a K, a K 1, 2, 3, and 4. I did not purposely do that because we were going through, if you remember, we were going through some labor strife and about certification and teachers in the classroom, right? We also were implementing a new curriculum. And I felt it was important that in this way, teachers would be able to have a lot of support. And those were two of the big reasons why at that point in time. And we were able at that point in time to finance it. We also at that time had not exhausted our educational fund. We had set up an educational fund, an emergency fund that carried us through the next 2 years, meaning 25, 26, and 26, 27. And we would have been fine with the funding. We ran into challenges with the school building project. And when the city helped us out in that area, they were aware of our fund balances, et cetera, which everyone was. And they insisted that we had some skin in the game. So we depleted our educational fund by $2 million. And that $2 million impacted our long-term planning. So we had to, this past year, we had to re-strategize how we're going to approach the 25-26 school year.
Any residual impact from that labor strife, or is that in the rearview mirror?
It's in the rearview mirror as far as I believe everyone understands the points that were being raised on both sides. The good news is I have many teachers that are now voluntarily getting their ML certification, or they're getting emergency certified for this year. And we have a good trajectory going forward of how many teachers will have that certification for us, for our students in instruction. The wonder is, how are we going to provide services based on the limited number of teachers we do have with that certification, based on, I'll just say, the settlement and how we had to proceed going this way this year. So, but I'm confident working with ML Director Mooney, and also working with President Hull, Jen Hull over in TAN. We all know what needs to be done for our students, and we also know there's a way to support our staff. Our staff, I believe now, are agreeable and know the importance of getting that certification. So in the end, I guess I'd say it's in the rearview mirror, but it's still something that's still on the road in front of us that we have to make sure we're ready to be able to support our children and our families.
Do you envision a growth over the next year of ML learners?
I don't know. And the reason I say I don't know is, if I'm not mistaken, the new administration has made English the official language. We now have an official language in the United States, whereas prior to this administration, I don't believe we did. And I may be wrong. I don't know if that came, I know that was discussed. I thought I heard it happened, because I don't know if that's going to change some of the ways we will be instructing and implementing instruction going forward. And also at the same time, as far as ML students, I'm not sure if we're going to see a rise. I'm not sure on that.
Help me with this one a little bit. How do you differ, or how does it differ from an ESL teacher to an MLL teacher?
It really doesn't. The industry education has a tendency to change labels that mean the same thing. So the ESL and the MLL, it's basically the same. They have a special kind of certification, I believe, that is titled ESL, but it still can meet the needs of MLL services. And my director is much better at explaining this, because I've asked the same questions. So
yeah, it seemed to me, as I looked at it, that there wasn't a whole lot of daylight between the two, and
no.
they seem very similar. I want to ask
Yes.
you. Well, let me ask you this first, and two questions first, and then I want to go into something a little broader. Merger with Middletown, anything happening?
That's a good question. Nobody wants to talk about it. I do believe I think the counselor Jean Marie Napolitano spoke very well about the history, what's been going on or not going on, and the wonder on why there's such hesitation about this. And no one, it really hasn't moved in any direction on both sides. I think for Middletown, and congratulations to Middletown, they had their groundbreaking recently for their new middle high school, and that was a great event. I think at this point in time, their focus, they just want to get their stuff going. And for us over here, I think there's something on the council going on right now about how to move forward, what to do, etc. So I know you have a couple of counselors that really want to move it forward. I think you have other counselors on that want to approach it differently. It's just that nothing's really happened. And I'll speak for myself. I know we're ready to go anytime you wish. I know my committee, and I'll speak of myself personally, I'm ready to help in any which way. And even if it's just for the administration, the amount of, I'll say, financial savings for both communities on their building projects and for regular operational costs it's worth it. It's, you don't have to, I think there's this big misnomer about if you regionalize at the, I'll say administration level, central office level, then everybody has to come together. No, you can run a school system still the same. Take time to analyze, look at your population, your student population growth, look at what your communities want, and you have time. You don't Nothing has to change even within the first 2, possibly even 3 years. And if it doesn't work, then you part ways. And I've heard, and I may be wrong, I've heard, and you can still accept the bonuses and everything you get. But I think people need to further explore that.
It's something we need to look at a little closer because
I agree.
never ending conversation.
Oh, I agree.
All employee contracts set for next year?
They're all set for next year. They in Newport, both of them expire in 27. So this year, no talks are necessary. A year from now, I would imagine both unions, everyone will go into discussions and talks.
I want you to take this 30,000 foot look at things on part one is taking a look at this past year, greatest challenges and greatest accomplishments, and then looking forward to look at the biggest challenges you see going forward in 25, 26.
The greatest challenge we had, is exactly what everyone was reading about. It was about how are we going to do our due diligence and have the teachers with the correct certifications for instruction in front of our children, and how can we as adults come together and make a decision on how we're going to move forward on this. I think that was the biggest challenge, and a new committee was elected, and we went another way, but at the end of the day, though, we are all working together. And I think that's the biggest accomplishment, and I'll say positive aspect of it. At the end of the day, we did come together. And, there may be areas we still agree to disagree, but we knew for the community, and we knew that we just had to put our heads down and work together to make it work this year. Going forward, I think for Newport, it's going to be a lot of the same challenges in the sense of having children attend school on a regular basis, getting that attendance on, for every child and every family, an everyday event. And also the continuing to support our teachers as they start to implement the curriculum, and that we know can really make a difference as far as the instruction and challenging our children for student achievement. So I think that's going to be something. I think that's in all public schools. I think public schools face a lot of challenges in that. If you look at, I'm going to round us up, but put us at we're at a 48 something $million entity. But if you look at us, we're a $50 million entity. Our new fiscal year starts July 1st, and we don't have a budget. And, the programs and what you want to do and the planning, it's very difficult to do when you have a lot of uncertainty and things change. You can set things in motion, and then, like any business or organization, it can be turned upside down. But at the same time, you have to keep the students, their education at the forefront, and how are we going to move that forward? I think that's going to continue to be a challenge for public schools, because parents, I believe, have certain demands, and they have certain things they want, and sometimes it's very difficult for public schools to follow all those demands when we have our own regulations we have to follow.
I've looked at and I talked to a number of superintendents, and I admire the challenges you face. You have a constituency of all your students. of all your parents, of all your employees, of the entire cities or towns, and you don't have control over your budget. So that's pretty tough to be able to do. And I know this has been, as I look around the state, there have been a number of changes in superintendents, a number of positions that have been that have faced their challenges, different challenges, and I admire what you do, because it takes an awful lot of strength, I think, to be able to handle that position appropriately.
Thank you.
Any things coming up? There are events that are coming up that I see.
Packing and moving.
So we've got this thing going on June 30th, the Rogers.
Oh, yes.
Take 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Tell us about that.
That's right. All right. So June 30th. So everyone listen up. So we are in the old Rogers High School right now. All of us are packing up. We have a limit on what we can bring over. I'm actually going to the NACTAC building, but everyone else in the building is going over into the new building. So there's a limit on what you can bring and how much you can bring. So we're going to have a lot of leftover, possibly furniture, whiteboards, tables. I saw some chairs. We've got quite a few things all over the place, and we're literally going to do, I think I saw a refrigerator, a couple little refrigerators, things like that. We're going to have a tag and take. So at 8 o'clock, we're going to open the doors of the old Rogers High School. And I believe we're also going to have some stuff in the articles from the fitness room as well. And people are going to be able to go in and just literally, hey, I like that, take it, put in your truck, goodbye. So we're going to try to clear the building as much as possible of all the, I'll just say, furniture or anything left over. We also have Jean's Closet. And for those of you that don't know, Jean's Closet is a food pantry and clothing closet that we have here at Rogers High School for families, students, anyone that would like to participate, neighbors, everyone. So this morning, actually, with Miss Boland and I were in there with Principal Vance and Jean McLaughlin, who the closet's named after. And we're going to be setting up a bunch of food bags Friday. And we'll literally probably have about 30, 40 food bags that we already know we're going to be delivering. We've taken orders, and we're going to be delivering those. But if we have anything left over in the food closet or in the clothing closet, that also will be available. So it's everyone come on in, take what you'd like, and enjoy it, whatever it
people
is.
Can come from anywhere in the state?
What's that?
People can come from anywhere in the state?
Well, we're hoping a lot of our local people, but yes, anyone can come. They can come. They can come visit. We're not gonna be, saying like the Preservation Society in Newport County only. So we just would feel better if someone could get good use of some of these articles instead of it going into a landfill. So,
real quickly, summer events going on.
Summer events, we will have, in our elementary school, we will be running our EBCAP program. It's a ramp up program for our little ones. I know Newport Community School will be running their program for our students at the middle school level. Oh, we don't have an announcement on that one. We are looking for a new football coach, and we have some finalists. That will be coming out soon. New football coach. And
Bill Belichick among them?
Pardon?
Bill Belichick among them?
No, he's not. He's not leaving his collegiate level to come down here.
Not.
But no, we will have a new football coach. I think we'll have a new football coach in the next week. And yesterday, we announced the Teacher of the Year. Grade 2 teacher, Sybil Greco. So Miss Greco, she's wonderful. She's inspiring. She lights up her room anywhere and everywhere she goes. She makes every child in her classroom feel special, and she is special and loved. She is just a great teacher. And the testament to that is high school students and graduates showed up because her family let them know, and they came to when she was surprised yesterday at Pell Elementary School. So Sybil Greco is the Newport Public Schools Teacher of the Year.
And you have a cyber camp, right?
We have a cyber camp. Yes, we have a lot of things going on. We have the cyber camp. Sail Newport's going to have their sailing lessons for our students, additional lessons and whatnot. And they're going to start like Wednesday night things for the kids. And then we have Bike Newport is going to be having bike trails and biking. But the cyber camp is even going to be led by one of our high school students. He set it up. So we're going to have that going on as well. We have this week's update has a lot of different activities, and I encourage everyone. I think I even said get a cup of tea or coffee or water or whatever, sit and go through the update, because we purposely put in different activities. We have the boat building, Iris, and we have a lot of different activities. Not only are they fun, they're great educational programs, and children don't even know they're learning new skills when they're doing these things. So we're very excited about that.
I have a quick hit list.
Okay.
So one comment, there was recently remarks made about upping the graduation credits. Is that going in front of Newport School Committee anytime soon? Is there talk to bumping it up to 22 graduation credits?
Yes, there is talk about raising it to 22 credits. Our last school committee meeting was the agenda was very full. That will be brought up again in August. The Rogers High School guidance department in the interim has been studying its data, and approximately, I think it was 85% of our graduates already earn 22 to 24 credits. So that's a good thing, and we're happy about that, but that is in the discussions. Yes, absolutely. Another thing, thank you, Ryan, for reminding me. Grade 5 discussions, grade 5, staying at Pell. That is going to be something we're going to be working on over this next school year, and plan out and map out how that would look, so that Thompson would be grades 6 through 8 and would keep the little ones on the Pell campus, where they have a playground. And personally, we feel it's a little bit more age appropriate for them. So that's under discussions as well. And then a biggie for the high school, not only will they be experiencing the move into the new high school, we were notified by Rep. Carson yesterday that the banning of cell phones passed. So that will go into effect July 1st. So we've been having those phone-free Fridays here at Rogers. I have to say, I don't think we had a lot of participation. We did gather student feedback from it, but the big thing about all that's going to be enforcement. And as I've said to Principal Vance and his team, I said the first 3 months is going to be very challenging. You're going to have to stay on top of everyone for this. And it's not only the students. We also would like all the adults to also model the behavior and not be using their cell phones in front of students or in their rooms, etc. And of course, if it's work related, that's a different story. But
how is that going to be monitored?
A lot of visual monitoring and watching them come in the door and out the door. And we're going to need the staff too. As a former classroom teacher, you're going to have to, look at that as well. All electronic devices. If you're saying this, I didn't know if you said it's your time's up, get off. But
kind of. But,
but yes, all electronic devices. It's not just cell phones.
I follow Ballotpedia, and there are at least 18 states that have banned cell phones in one way or another in schools.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're distracting.
2 more quick ones, and I'll let you pick them at any time. I feel like, as we're taking the next step with school, maybe we can have a 1-minute update on the dirt pile that has become a favorite among some. And then I haven't run anything on it, so I haven't seen anything on it, but all those students who rely on the free reduced lunches, the summer lunch program, the summer breakfast lunch, just details on or where to look.
Okay, so let's go to the summer lunch program. Lunches will be provided We will have sites throughout Newport. I do not have the listing, but thank you, Ryan. That's a good reminder. I'll get that out. We will be promoting that throughout the city and different spots. So I'll get that out to everyone. The dirt pile, no new news on the dirt pile yet, although it's a lovely shade of green now. The grass is growing and everything on it. We don't have an update on the next steps with the dirt pile. My thinking on this is we're waiting until the excavation and everything behind the NACTEC building with the trenching we have to do. Once that's done and we've got that completed, we'll probably start having discussions on that.
Excellent. The only other thing I'm going to do is point out, I doubt you've had a chance to look at it yet, but there's a new community profiles from Rhode Island Kids Count out today that just came out, where you can flip through and the public can flip through and look at all sorts of interesting data. And I think it plays a lot into the conversations we're having. For example, child population in 1990, there were 5,756 children. That has dropped to 36%, and now it's down to 3,660. A lot of stuff you can go into education. I'm going to share the link, do a story on it on What's Up Newt. But when we're having all of these conversations, I think that data, I wasn't going to put you on the spot and ask you what shocked you the most about it yet, because it just came out a couple hours ago. But
oh no, it's been, is it this year's? No, I think it's been out. I already did study it.
These fancy little, and I'll show the public because we just do this on the fly here.
Okay.
So this is supposed to be like a whole new community profile. Maybe they're just fibbing to me.
No. All right. That just came out, but I have been through it. I do have that book. It is something we study very much. And as a matter of fact, for part of the reasoning for moving grade 5 down to elementary level, we saw that in the student surveys with our students, that they didn't feel as comfortable, as safe in the middle school, and that was a shocker for me as well. You know, because
really good note, Frank. We're gonna end on this note. High school graduation rate in 2024, 81%. 20 years ago, it was 64%.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good note.
Yeah, that is a good note. And as a matter of fact, that's for the district, Ryan. That's not Rogers High School.
Yeah.
Rogers High School, I think, is at 84%.
Is that for a four-year graduation?
Yes.
It's for 4 years. So the actual graduation rate is probably higher when you account for other kids that take a little longer.
Correct, it is. But for the public, we have one high school, and then other districts have more than one high school. But we also have like out of district students at other schools, and they're counted in our count for graduation. So
I'm sure we'll have
for the district.
Sure, we'll have plenty to talk about in August when we chat with you. And I'm going to look up that date. It will be, right now, it's supposed to be the 27th.
Okay.
So you will be in a new home somewhere.
No, I won't. Not in August.
Oh, okay.
I can't go in till September. So
Okay.
no, Miss Nash and I will be on the road.
Okay.
So our next, should we not be talking in July?
Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped a month. I thought it was already July.
No, that's okay. Yeah, no, we can talk in July and give you updates. You can see where I am then.
That's always good.
That will be July 30th. Will be the next time.
Okay.
Right
All
between
we will see
Newport Folk and Newport Jazz Festival. So.
Perfect.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Nice seeing you.
We'll talk to you soon.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you both. Take care.
You are welcome. That is Newport School Superintendent Colleen Jermain, who joins us normally on the last Wednesday of every month. If you missed any portion of this conversation, you can watch it, rewatch it, share it, all available on whatsupnewt.com. Also a place on there where you can submit your questions, and we thank everybody who submitted questions today. Thanks for watching.